Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Wednesday morning live stream, Hardware Wallet Roundup, where we're going to talk about hardware wallets and the various strengths and weaknesses of the different hardware wallets, a little bit of news about hardware wallets, and I've already got some really good questions queued up and waiting, so I'll jump right in. I want to thank everybody for being here this morning. I'm here with the rig, and I got a bunch of wallets over here. Now, one thing we'll say, I've harped on this many times. This is what many would say is a hardware wallet, but more specifically, this is a keychain. It's not the wallet, it's part of the wallet. So a lot of people think that cryptocurrency gets stored inside these little devices, and they'll make comments like, how much Bitcoin will fit in a ledger, which is, the Bitcoin is out there on the blockchain. It's pretty much, the answer is unlimited, up to as much as you can buy. It doesn't get full of crypto. Now it does get full of apps, but that's a completely different thing. So I just want to make that distinction. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to store my crypto in this cheap piece of plastic. Well, you're not really. This is the key that unlocks the wallets out there on the blockchain. So having said that, we'll move in. Let me thank everyone that's here this morning. Let's go over to the board here. Oh, I've got the wrong monitor. Let's, no, that's the right monitor. I just don't have the right tab showing at the moment. So I want to thank Jason. Jason is here with a very good question. I've talked about this issue quite often, so I'll go through it. For Jason's sake, but this is a very strong strength of the Ledger Nano S Plus. So we'll talk about that. Kenny, thanks for being here. As always, of course, it always feels good to have Kenny here in the live stream with me. David Boland is here. Stanza, Birds, Bees, and Trees. Good morning. Generally, Birds, Bees, and Trees is a Saturday night live stream regular, so it's good to have a few of the Saturday night regulars here with me this morning. Improvements. I was wondering why you haven't touched on the Bitbox 2 in years. It's one of the best hardware wallets on the market, in your opinion. I agree. It's a nice little device. And you're right, I haven't done a video on it in a couple of years. They were gracious enough to send me one. It's pretty specific. I haven't really delved into the amount of cryptos it supports. But as other hardware wallets out there, it doesn't have as much industry support and third-party support as wallets like Ledger and Trezor. I could be wrong about that. Prove me wrong. If Bitbox is compatible with MetaMask or other DEXs, let me know. I do have a third-party wallet called Solflare for managing Solana that I want to show you. It's compatible via Bluetooth with my Ledger Nano X, which is really cool. I just figured that out the other night. I think it was Phantom that had support for Bluetooth on a mobile app with a Ledger, and then it lost it for some reason. And I don't know that Solflare ever was compatible with the Bluetooth of the Ledger device, but it has it now. So I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. First, I'm going to hit the questions of the people that were here early. Jason is asking, he stakes Solana on his Ledger Nano X. He's thinking of swapping over to Ledger Nano S because he doesn't need the Bluetooth, and he doesn't have to worry about battery issues. And what do I think? Well, I'm assuming that you're staking on a computer, and you're using the desktop version of Ledger Live. If you're using the phone-based version of Ledger Live, which looks like this. Boop-a-doo-boop-boo. Oh, my wallets are being updated. Okay. Yeah, if you're using the Ledger Live app on your phone with your Ledger Nano X, then you would want to stick with Ledger Nano X on the go, because you can't really interface with this mobile app using your Ledger Nano S Plus, because as you mentioned, the Ledger Nano S Plus does not have Bluetooth. Now you can use your mobile app as a watch only, and I'll show you guys how to do that here real quick. But I'm assuming that you're using Ledger Live. I don't know how you're staking your Solana, but if you're doing it on your desktop and you're worried about battery issues, I'm assuming that you just normally have your Ledger Nano X plugged in all the time. So the battery issue shouldn't be a big deal, but maybe you're going out and about and you're doing a little bit of stuff on your mobile. So you'll have to, you won't be able to manage crypto on the go with your Ledger Nano S Plus. But the good news, the good news is if we look at the products lined up here, see, they got compare our devices. You'll see that not only is the Ledger Nano S cheaper than the Ledger Nano X, but it pretty much has everything else that the Ledger Nano X has, sans the Bluetooth. So it has the same size screen. It's got the same interface, USB-C. It's compatible all the way down. And I don't see where they list the amount of storage. They don't, but it has pretty much the same amount of app storage that the Ledger Nano X has. So if you're managing multiple cryptos, then you would want to have at least a Ledger Nano S Plus. I know there's a lot of people out there still using the older Ledger Nano S's, but they are severely limited as far as the amount of app storage that they have. So I'm going to connect my Ledger Nano S Plus here real quick, so you guys can just take a quick look at the guts of the item. I just need to enter my PIN here real quick. Let's see here, 8 and 9. Oh no, I just revealed the last 2 digits of my PIN under my breath, of all places. Now, quick distinction. This is Ledger Live. This is the software interface where you can manage your crypto, check your balances, look at your dollar value, look at your transaction history, and all that great stuff. And a lot of people, live by this interface, although there are lots of great third-party wallets out there that can use the device, right? This is the software. Now, there's a particular section of the software down here on the left called My Ledger, and that is where you interface directly with the device itself. The rest of Ledger Live, you don't even have to have the device plugged in to use it. I'm going to go ahead and verify by clicking both buttons to allow Ledger Live to access my device. Now, this particular device doesn't have a whole bunch of apps on it at the moment because I've run experiments and wiped it clean and done all that great stuff over time. But you'll notice a couple of things cool about this My Ledger section. The first thing that you can see up here at the top is that it tells me my device is genuine. This is a genuine check. When you connect your device to your computer, to Ledger Live, and you go into the My Ledger section, it runs what's called a genuine check. It does this every time you go into the My Ledger section. I'm sure you're aware that it runs it during your setup process, but you may not have been aware that it runs it every single time you connect your device to the My Ledger section and allow that little interface. So there's a little key on this guy, and it connects to the Ledger server, and it does a little cryptographic handshake with their keys on their end, their crypto keys. there's a little handshake going on that tells you this is a genuine Ledger device and that it has not been tampered with. No one has gone in there and altered the circuitry or done anything crazy like that. So a lot of people worry about, oh, the box is open, or someone may have tampered with it, all those kind of paranoid delusions that people have about hardware wallets. The first thing right here is that genuine check. And Ledger is not the only wallet that has genuine checks. Tangem has an integrity check. The Trezor Safe 3. There's a couple of wallets out there that do that. But just be aware that you don't really need to worry so much about, you know, Russian hackers with tattoos and silver teeth, you know, hacking into your device. It's much more common for you to get tricked out of your seed phrase. We'll talk about that a little more. So, but what I wanted to really show you here is the capacity. There's only one app on here, but it has a capacity of 1.28 megabytes, and it'll hold like 30 or 40 different apps for different cryptos. So not only does it have the same size screen as the Ledger Nano X, it also has the same amount of app storage, slight difference, but pretty much the same. So it's a great go-to device. And if you're going to migrate over from your Ledger Nano X to the Ledger Nano S Plus, I would suggest after you open up your Ledger Nano S Plus to simply do a restore with your 24-word recovery phrase. That will make it a mirror backup of your go-to X device. And you don't have to throw your X away. You can just put it in a drawer and not really use it that much. But they'll both, as far as Ledger Live is concerned, they'll be the same device. Cryptographically, mathematically, they'll be the same device. So in answer to the first question, I would highly recommend a Ledger Nano X Plus, S Plus, because it has the same amount of storage as an X and the same size screen. You just have to keep it plugged in. There's no battery and there's no Bluetooth. Great question, though. I like talking about that kind of stuff. David Boland also had an early question. He's got CeeLo locked in Nano X, was hoping to stake it, but unable to, saying it's not available, but shows up on balance. Any advice? I don't know exactly. I'm going to do an ad account here and see. Okay, so I've seen this crypto around before. I'm going to go ahead and let it install on my little Ledger Nano X here, and we'll have a zero balance. We'll just take a quick look at it. And so my curiosity here is, does it support staking in Ledger Live? I'm guessing that it does because you're asking about that. So I'll go ahead and add my empty CeeLo account. And let's run down here. Oh, it looks like I already had it on here at some point. I guess I had bought some before. I think that's on my Ledger Nano X, right? Let's take a look at it, though, on this. I don't see any staking functionality in Ledger Live. Yeah. Let's go up to that one that was for my Ledger Nano X that had a little bit in there. Oh, okay, yeah, so it does have rewards. So your question is why it's stuck, unable, hoping to stake, but is unable to, saying it's not available, but shows up on balance. Not really sure there on that one, to be honest, because I don't believe I ever staked this one. I had some stored here a while back, and, you know, around 500, but it doesn't look like I ever staked it. I'll just state in general that the staking interface in Ledger Live can be a little glitchy. I know Ledger Live team does a great job, but they've got a lot of stuff on their plate, right? They've got this whole interface. They got all these other cryptos. And they have a lot of crypto projects like Polkadot and Cardano that are constantly updating their blockchain, right? So every time a blockchain project out there upgrades or bug fixes or adds a feature or whatever, then Ledger Live goes out of whack. And so Ledger Live or the guys on the the development teams of the blockchain have to sort of put their heads together and update the Ledger Live app or the Ledger Live interface to deal with whatever functionality they've added over on their blockchain. So if things are broken in Ledger Live, as far as staking goes, which happens quite often, the Ledger will eventually address the issue and will be in one of their updates. So I'm not sure how you're staking CeeLo. Anyway, I want to jump into the news here before it gets too late. I've got some news stories. God, there was something I told you I was going to do, and I think I already forgot what it was as far as the hardware wallets go. Maybe somebody can remind me. So let's see. What are the stories I want to cover today? I do want to talk about Tangem. Someone mentioned, oh, you seem like you're pushing Tangem all the time. I'm not really pushing. I try not to push any hardware wallet over any other. I just want to give you the facts so you can make an intelligent decision. Crypto is not the kind of thing that you should be asking advice about. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. I mean, if you got a technical issue and you're looking for someone to help you through it, that's fine. But as far as which wallet should I buy, you shouldn't just be saying, just tell me, right? I get a lot of that. Just tell me the best wallet. I can't. First of all, there is no such thing. And number two, if I'm out here pushing one wallet over another, no one's going to trust me anymore. I'm no longer objective when I'm doing that. So I will push wallets on their pros or, whatever they've got going for them. But I'm not just going to tell you, hey, buy this wallet and not that wallet. But I will be honest about wallets. But anyway, Tangem is always in the news. And, when I do Google searches about, give me news about hardware wallets, I get a lot of articles about Tangem. And I get a lot of articles about what's the best wallet, right? I'm going to go through one of those. So you'll get my honest opinion today. There is a third-party testing, let's see what they call it, called RiskSure. They examine, they're a third-party auditor, right? So they examine the source code of the Tangem crypto wallet, tested its functionalities and commands through the NFC interface. The primary goal was to identify potential vulnerabilities and logic-related security issues. The security evaluation did not reveal security issues that would lead to exposure of the wallet's private keys. Importantly, no backdoors were identified in the firmware that could be exploited. These audits results further confirm Tangem's mission to provide a robust device that safeguards users from a variety of attacks. This is very important. A lot of people, I get a lot of, oh, I don't trust Ledger. We're going to talk about that. You don't really have to trust a hardware wallet because they're usually audited by third parties. They're tested by third parties. They're tested by white hat hackers. That's really all you can do. And this is, a lot of people don't understand how testing and software and stuff works. But basically, if you have like a black box, you have like this hardware wallet. You don't know what it does or how it does it. But you can test it to see if it's going to pass tests, like the Turing test or whatever, about whether an AI is human or not. You can give it input and see what comes out and make evaluations based on that. So here we have a third party testing the Tangem hardware and software for vulnerabilities. There's a lot of testing of the third-party testing of the Trezor devices and the Ledger devices. So we have, if you don't trust the company, there are a lot of third-party tests that show that these wallets, in fact, do what they say they're doing. But you can't convince someone that has decided to doubt everything, right? If you don't trust Ledger, there's no breaking that mental block in your head. I've tried, right? So there's people out there, they don't trust Ledger, and nothing I can say is going to convince them otherwise, because I can't prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that there's not a back door. But by the same token, they can't prove to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is a back door. So we're kind of stuck. So basically what we need to do is rely on third-party tests and track records. Anywho, let's see what was the next story that I had lined up here. There's a little story here about Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is a great third-party. Trust Wallet is Binance. Here, I'm going to show you. Whoops. Trust Party, and let me show. Trust Wallet is a phone-based wallet. I believe they have an extension now that works in browsers, and so it can interface with like MetaMask and stuff like that. So it's a pretty versatile ecosystem. As far as I know, there is no way to attach a ledger to Trust Wallet. So Trust Wallet is not a hardware wallet, unless, of course, it can connect to a hardware wallet through its browser extension. And I haven't done that yet. But I would like to quickly just show you. Anyway, the story is about Trust Wallet, and they bring up a very good point in this story. We hear a lot about, is it, does it work right? Does it generate private keys? Is it vulnerable to having its private keys exposed through hackers? People always think that their wallets are getting hacked by somebody, a keyboard warrior somewhere on the other side of the world. That's not how the worst case, the largest attack surface of a crypto hardware wallet. That's a very specialized attack that is very rare. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Scammers, not hackers, scammers account for the lion's share of security issue because of the social aspect of fraud. So when they talk about the social aspect of fraud, they're talking about what they would refer to as social engineering. And that is tricking you into revealing your seed phrase. This is the most common way that scammers, or more directly, we could just call them thieves. They're not really hackers. A hacker, you think of a hacker as a guy who's got some kind of computer skill that, knows coding or whatever, and does has all these tools. But the social engineers, basically they're just some dude sitting in a cubicle somewhere with probably a little script in front of him. He's probably getting paid minimum wage, and his job is to reach out to people through WhatsApp or Telegram or Facebook or whatever, and scam people. And they have this little script. I've heard of these scams. They'll tell them stuff like, "Oh, you're in trouble with law enforcement, or your wallet's been disabled, or someone made a purchase, or your wallet just got hacked. Let me help you." All of these are just ruses to get and gain the trust of a user, and then convince them to reveal their 24 or 12-word recovery phrase. That is where you should be. You need to beef up your personal security. Hardware wallets get tested, right? Sitting around doubting whether a hardware wallet can be trusted or not is really not the best strategy to secure your crypto. Really, it's educating yourself against scams like this. So I just wanted to point that out. I think I've got this one linked down below. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'll just go ahead and no, I don't. I'll just drop these news stories in here so you guys can read them. And let's see, what's the other one that we did here? Trust. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, let's just... I'll pull up that first story I covered about Tangem. You might be interested in that. I'm going to paste that down in the description. All right, and then I'll do this last one. Before I do this last story, I just want to catch up. I'm sure people are asking me questions, but I will put this down in there because we are going to talk about it here real quick. Okay, Bitbox, I'll try to get onto Bitbox. It's a little... The problem I have with the Bitbox is the way that it connects. It's perfect for a laptop because if you're sitting at a laptop and you've got this thing plugged into your USB port and on the right, you know, or left if you're left-handed or whatever, it's oriented properly. But when you have a desktop and you have to connect it up there on your desktop, you got to reach up, you know, you can get an extender cable for it and everything. And I promise I'll look into doing another update on the Bitbox 2, but it's just not a mainstream hardware wallet. Let's see. Hello, CryptoDad. What is blowing my mind is how close to BTC all-time highs we are and how we'll still maybe 23 months of bull market, ETF, Fed rates. Yeah, I should point out that Bitcoin is still on a tear. Let's take a look. I think it's well over 44 this morning. I forget now. I mean, it was, I don't know, it was like a week ago that it was like 38. And people were saying Bitcoin has got its eyes on 40,000. And I was like, you're crazy. It's not going to hit 40,000. Well, then, you know, it breaks 40 and then it broke 42. And I'm thinking 42. And then now I'm looking at it, it's 44. And I'm like, was it 44 or 42? I can't remember. It's like just going nuts. And in the past, you know, these run-ups usually mean there's going to be a pullback. But it has lost a lot of its volatility. I don't know if that's because, you know, the Illuminati are controlling it now because all the big institutions have bought up Bitcoin. I don't know. But it's not as volatile as it used to be. Well, we'll see. But anyway, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that it's a good thing that Bitcoin is on a tear. But it is also a bad thing for day-to-day Bitcoin use because Bitcoin fees are really high right now. So I was going to demo a little bit of that if I get a chance. Let me just get through some questions here. I bought X a couple years ago over S because the time the S was limited to the amount of coins versus X. Thanks for clearing it up. Yes, indeed, the Bluetooth doesn't appear to connect with a direct cable. You don't have to worry about the Bluetooth, no. Mark Henson, own 2 ledgers because Nano doesn't hold many apps. If you want multiple coins, avoid the Nano S. Yes. Nano S is not, they don't make it, or they don't sell it anymore. They still support it, but it's not, you can't buy it anymore on their website. See all products. Yeah. They don't sell it anymore. Ledger Stacks, still waiting, but for now, you know, the only devices are X, S Plus, and the Stacks, right? Ledger Nano S has been sunsetted. We call it sunsetted. Anybody getting NFT scams in Ledger? Been getting aluminum NFT airdrop boxes sent to ETH account. All as good as long as I don't receive them. Correct. You can't receive them. I'm sorry. You've already received them. So if you see them in Ledger Live, then they're in your wallet. But they can't do anything unless you interact with them. So just ignore them like junk mail. I know it's disgusting. It's heartbreaking that, you know, there's so many scammers out there and, you know, they send these faux NFTs to try to trick people. Like this one wants you to go and claim rewards at a website. This is a no-no. Don't go to these websites. Don't try to collect your reward. These are all scams, and they could compromise the entire device. You could allow it access to all of the Ethereum in this wallet or other ERC20 tokens, and maybe even the rest of the device. I'm not sure, what the level of malicious smart contracts are, but just don't interact with them and they won't do anything. You can even right click on them. Let's see if we go back here. You can even right click on them, or where is it? Is it somewhere around here? Yeah, you can just hide them. The three dots over here, just click on the three dots and you can hide them so you don't have to see them, right? And these are real ones, but you get them a lot on the smaller chains like Polygon. I mean, it's like almost every day I'm getting fake Polygon NFTs. They're just, they can't do anything unless you interact with them. So just ignore them. Don't go in there and try to delete them. You can't delete them. The only way you can get rid of an NFT is to send it back out again. And by doing that, you're opening yourself up to, potential security issues. It's normally when you connect to a website and try to collect whatever this reward is, the scam, but just don't mess with them at all. And, if you don't want to see them, hide them, right? I can right click and hide them this way too. But I just don't want to waste my time with this. Yeah. I could do this every day and it's just, let's see. NFT scams are a problem with the whole ETH network. Happens on it's not a ledger problem. It is it's a blockchain problem. So any wallet that you're using to manage an Ethereum wallet is going to have fake NFTs. Decided on the new Tangem wallet, John Matrix 203. Tangems are nice, very easy to use. I like them. Low toss of ledgers in draws because of poor products requiring continuing to upgrade hardware. My Trezor is great. Every hardware wallet that's worth its salt needs to be updated because blockchains update. I know it's kind of a pain that you have to update your device, but this is by design, right? If the device was unupdatable, then it wouldn't be very useful. Do you really want to buy a new hardware device every 3 months or every 6 months to keep up with all the latest technology? No, you want a device that's going to last you 3 or 4 years. So it's a good thing that they have to be updated. I'll just leave it at that. Software, firmware should be up to date all the time. And stop telling me you're afraid to update your firmware because of some hack, right? Please keep your hardware and software up to date. How to contact Ledger team, resolve locked CeeLo. I don't know about contacting Ledger. Basically, there's no phone number. You just have to go to Ledger support and fill out a form, right? It has contact us there. Let's see, what was that? Contact us. No phone support. You're going to have to jump through whatever hoops they make you jump through. If the article wasn't helpful, eventually you're going to get to a web form where you can fill out a claim or, a complaint. You can't email them. You have to go through the process of, they've got support on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook. So there's lots of ways to get a hold of them. But no, you're not going to get the hotline, like the Moscow hotline, or the Batman hotline, where Commissioner Gordon can just pick up his red phone and go, Batman, we need you. It's not how it works. You're going to have patience if you really want support. You might want to check some CeeLo third-party wallets that work with Ledger devices. Maybe you could manage your tokens like that. I've had that happen before, where with Stellar, I was having problems sending Stellar. I had to go to a third-party Stellar wallet, and then from there was able to get my Stellar to move off my device, right? So third-party wallets sometimes are the solutions. I'm not that familiar with CeeLo, so I can't really just run it down for you like that. But check to see if maybe they have some third-party wallets that are compatible with, yeah, I can't find it on here, but check that out. That might be a way to go. See if you can find a third-party wallet, and maybe you can manage your CeeLo that way and get it unstaked. While we're on the subject of that, I wanted to show you real quick this cool thing that I discovered about the Solflare wallet on my phone, right? So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to go into the Solflare wallet, and I'm going to try to delete this if I can. Let's see, we go to edit here, and I want to remove this wallet. Okay, I'll do that. Let's try that again. Let's do edit. Let's do remove and confirm. Yeah, okay. All right, so when you set up this Solflare wallet, Solflare is a Solana-based wallet. You will be, I think they force you to set up a standalone wallet and a seed phrase. But once you have done that, you can add additional accounts that are tied to a Ledger device. So I have my Ledger Nano X here. I'm going to power it on, and I'm going to enter my PIN. And you'll notice I'm doing this on battery power. I could just as easily have it plugged in. I usually keep mine plugged in because that way it's got, a source of power at all times. And the Bluetooth will work even if, I'm talking too much. I got to focus. I got to get this entered here. My PIN didn't take the PIN because I was jabbering and entered my PIN incorrectly. Okay, now I've got the PIN entered. I'm going to turn on this Rebel over here so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I have my Ledger Nano X on, and you can see it's not connected to anything. It's just using the Bluetooth. I need to be in the Solana app because this is a Solana-based wallet. So I'm going to enter the Solana app, and now we're going to, I'm playing Twister over here. I've got my phone, which I'm using in my other hand on a stand. And so we're going to go here. We're going to go to edit. This was kind of hidden. I didn't realize that you could add wallets. I'm like, how do you add wallets? Well, you got to go into the three hamburger menu, 3 lines. You got to go to edit, and then you get the add wallet. Okay, so we hit add wallet. Now, there's lots of different ways to import wallets. Add a new wallet. You can create a new standalone wallet, whatever you want to do. I don't understand what this burner wallet is, but that's kind of interesting. But they have Connect Ledger and Connect Key Store, or import private key, which is a little riskier. But I'm going to do Connect Ledger. It wants me to pair my Ledger with my Ledger Live app, which I've already done. It says I paired my Ledger. It sees my Ledger Nano X there. Now it's going to interface with my device. And notice I really don't have to do anything with my device except just have it on, unlocked, and in the Solana app. But it's scanning this device for Solana wallets. It found 2. I can import them all. And lo and behold, I have access to my Solana. Now, check that Solana there. It's 2.49 Solana. Let's look in Ledger Live. It's the same device, right? Let's go into Solana. There's my Solana wallet, 2.49, same, right? It's the exact same wallet, right? Same private key, right? This is a keychain. Remember, it's not a wallet. So I have a wallet on my phone, and I have the Ledger Live app. They both are both looking at the same Solana wallet. But what's the big difference? Well, Ledger Live doesn't support Solana tokens, right? So none of my Solana tokens are showing up. But I can see them on my phone because the Solflare wallet supports Solana tokens. I can swap tokens. I can stake tokens. I can stake Solana in this wallet. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is, stake. So with that Celio problem you're having, maybe there's a third-party wallet that you can use to deal with whatever your issue. You're saying that your Celio is stuck in the wallet. So I don't know if that means you can't unstake it or you just can't move it. But either way, Ledger Live might address that issue, or be patient. It'll eventually work. Or you can maybe look at some third-party wallets that might be able to help, right? So pretty cool that the Solflare mobile wallet supports Bluetooth with a ledger. Pretty cool stuff. It's cool that it also works with Keystone. That's kind of an air-gapped wallet, so I'll skip that. But that is really cool, right? Now, I did want to go over this article here because it does talk about, it's a comparison article about hardware wallets, right? 5 best crypto wallets for 2024. 2024 isn't even here yet. Let's see. Let me just check the stream here. A lot of questions. I want to make sure I get to your questions. Could you recommend best non-KYC site for swapping stablecoins into Bitcoin? I get a lot of questions like that. I'm going to have to, I'm just going to have to put this out here. I cannot put myself in a position of recommending money laundering, right? Or tax evasion. So when I get questions like that where people are asking me, how do I buy Bitcoin without my bank knowing it? Or how do I buy Bitcoin without the government knowing it? You're basically asking me to aid and abet you in what you might have perfectly good reasons for doing it. I believe in privacy and all that stuff. But when someone publicly asks me how to avoid government, bank, or IRS detection so that they can buy Bitcoin off the grid, I really can't address stuff like that. I apologize. I'm here to help how to move crypto, but I'm not an advocate of avoiding detection of Bitcoin transactions. That crosses a line, right? I can't cross that line. But thank you for the question, right? It's almost impossible to buy crypto these days without some sort of KYC. Just, that's how it is. All right. Yasleen Penna. I'm having trouble with my Ledger Live. My ETH has a small X next to it. When I synchronize, it says error. I've tried clearing the cache and updated the firmware and still says error. Yeah, I guess, the normal stuff, troubleshooting, rebooting your computer, trying a different cable, trying a different USB port, all that kind of stuff. The physical troubleshooting of a Ledger-based wallet. As I mentioned, the Ledger device is part of the wallet. Ledger Live is the other part. Ledger Live relies on connecting to the hardware-based component of the wallet in order to display balances and manage the crypto in there. If you're getting an X, it's not syncing properly. And clearing the cache is a really good first step. If you go into help, you've got this clear cache. It's a pretty non-invasive troubleshooting step, and it usually will do the trick. But sometimes, for whatever reason, your Ledger Live just won't sync right. Now, you could try installing Ledger Live on a different computer, seeing if you can get access to your assets. You could also connect your device to MetaMask and see if you can view your balances properly and manage your tokens in MetaMask. So if you're using MetaMask to manage crypto, let me go ahead and get into it. MetaMask is a great and powerful third-party wallet that can import and connect to hardware devices. So you might want to try connecting your Ledger Nano X in MetaMask and seeing if it works that way, because it sounds like a Ledger Live issue. The drastic step would be to reset your Ledger Live completely. I know that's kind of scary. You might want to take a screenshot of your portfolio or your account section so that you'll remember what accounts you have in there. But if you go over here to help and do a reset of Ledger Live, it will completely wipe all of your accounts, and then you'll have to go back to an empty Ledger Live account section and re-add all of your accounts by connecting your devices. And then one other thing that I'll mention here about this issue is a lot of people get confused and accidentally reset their device by entering their PIN incorrectly 3 times, or the device gets bricked during a firmware update or whatever, and then they have to do a hardware reset, and then they get confused. They don't realize they should do a restore of their device from their 24-word recovery phrase. So instead, what they do is have Ledger Live walk them through the setup process again, and then it creates a brand new seed phrase, which they dutifully write down. And that's great. Their device is all set up. But now all of the accounts that were in there before are no longer compatible with the device because you've done a reset. And some people don't understand what happened, and they don't understand why they can't interface with their accounts anymore. Well, and I've talked to people and I've asked them, do you have a recovery phrase? And they'll say, yes. And I'll say, do you have more than one recovery phrase? And they'll say, no. And then I'll say, but don't you remember when maybe you reset your device and wrote down a new seed phrase, and you still have that card in your drawer from way back when you first bought your device? That one? And they'll go, oh, that one. I'll say, yes, that one. That is the original seed phrase for your device. You need to pull that out of your drawer, restore your device using that, and then you'll be able to interface with all of your previous accounts. Now, sometimes the water gets even more muddied because on their new configuration, they start adding accounts and throwing crypto in there. And so now they've got like this hodgepodge of accounts. Some of them are tied to the old configuration. Some of them are tied to the new configuration. So, sometimes things can get messed up. So, or you've got a more than one device and you've got the wrong device attached. That's really simple. I've done that one before too. Every time I try to connect to my account, it tells me error, something went wrong. And I'll say, do you have more than one Ledger device? And they'll go, well, yeah, I've got that other one in the drawer. It's been in there for like a year. I'm like, well, maybe you should try that one. Maybe that's the device that's tied to your account. So we're talking a lot of troubleshooting this morning. I hope you guys get everything straight here. I hope everything works out for you, Yasleen. You could also try a clean install of Ledger Live rather than that reset. I've got a video on how to do that. Let me see if I can pull that guy up for you. Let's see what we got here. Ledger install. Whoops, what just happened? Did I misspell it? Let's try that again. Come on, Rex. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, because I'm looking in live. My bad. Let's see here. I have one that I did back in 2021. The interface is slightly different, but it still holds. It stands up pretty well to the test. This is a video on how you, what have I done? Why can't I get into this? Oh, I see. It just looks different than it did before. There. That's a link to that install video. I've got another one where let's see. I think I did another one that's a lot more recent. Let me do it this way. I don't think I used the word install in that one. Let me find that one. Ah, this one. How to recover your lost crypto using the Ledger device versus Ledger Live. So in this video, I show you how to do a clean install of Ledger Live. And it's much more recent. So you might want to check that video out if you're having that X issue, right? Sometimes you just need to reinstall Ledger Live. Let's see. Burner Wallet is a wallet that you would create when you want to mint an NFT and have Sol needed just for the NFT and the gas at it, no more extra Sol. Oh, okay, good. I should point that out too as well. You can use your hardware wallet to protect yourself when you're using DEXs. I mentioned MetaMask. It's a great way, but you also want to stay secure, and the burner wallet is a great idea, like a one-use only wallet to protect the rest of your assets when you're minting NFTs. But you could also have a secondary ledger that has like a working balance on it that's sort of like a burner wallet too, but that it maintains some it has some working crypto in it for minting NFTs or maybe not staking, but you could even think of it separate as a staker or a liquidity pool or whatever. But generally, just a device that doesn't have your mother load on it, right? The device that keeps track of your mother load should sort of try to keep that pristine. Use it as a storage only device, maybe, storage and transfers. But if you're gonna get into the nitty gritty when it comes to DeFi and especially minting NFTs, you could use that burner wallet that's like a standalone wallet, but you could also use a Ledger or a Trezor device to mint your NFTs and just keep small working balances on it. There's no reason to keep all of your crypto in one wallet, especially if you're going to be doing kind of, behavior that could pose security risk to your device through malicious smart contracts. Thanks for the overall advice. It can be used for CeeLo and hope is helpful to others with cryptos. As you suggested, it was an issue with Stella. Oh yeah, so I just real quick, when I was trying to interface with Stellar the other day, actually I was pulling out a small amount of Stellar. I couldn't send it from Ledger Live. But if you'll notice there, here, I've got a little Stellar network link, and you can use Stellar Term. And Stellar Term can connect, I'm going to have to connect my X and enter the PIN. Apologize for all this PIN entry, but that's the price we pay for security, right? And when I'm live, it does take up some of the time there for me to enter pins, but it's good practice, right? Entering a pin under duress. All right, so I have a wallet here, And I'm sorry, I've got my Ledger device. We're in Stellar, so we need to get into the Stellar app. If I can find it, I think that's it. No, that's Cosmos. There's Stellar. So we'll go in there. I guess Celio is a Stellar-based thing. So this Stellar term is a pretty good way to manage your Stellar assets, if Celio is one of those. I'll paste that in there for you so you'll have a link to that. And then all I do here is I go down and I say Ledger, and then I say connect with Ledger, and then accept the terms, log in with Ledger. All I need to make sure is my Ledger is connected, unlocked, and it's in the Stellar app, and lo and behold, I have access to my Stellar. Same wallet, right? It says 55 here. It says 55 over wherever it went. Yeah. And you can manage Stellar tokens, right? Which you can't do in Ledger Live. You can also do swaps and all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know about Celio. I don't see it in here. I don't know if I ever did Celio. But yeah, possible that maybe that'd be a way to unstake your Celio. I've never tried to use it in Stellar term. But always, third-party wallets can save the day sometimes when Ledger Live is kind of glitched. Just to be on the safe side, I LOL got my wallet drained once trying to mint NFTs. Yeah, minting NFTs is pretty risky. So yeah, a burner wallet or, you know, just like a working Ledger device that keeps small amounts of crypto in there. Yasleen, I'm having trouble with my Ledger Live. My ETH has a small amount of X. I think I've addressed that. So clean install. I've got some videos. Hopefully that'll clear that thing up. Why do you always post about wallets? Because that's really what my channel is about. I'm trying to educate people on how to transfer crypto and manage crypto, and the best way to do that is in your own wallet, and the best type of self-custody wallet is a hardware wallet. So yes, I'm always talking about wallets. And if I do a video on transferring crypto or managing crypto, it's always in conjunction with a hardware wallet of some form. So that's why I talk about wallets so much. I'm not really here to talk about the market as much, insofar as it does affect us all, but I'm not here hyping coins, right? Maybe I would have made more money over the years if I was one of those coin shillers, but I'm not. I just talk about wallets. David, from what I understand, to legally purchase crypto, you would need to purchase it through an LLC, and that opens up various options to loan funds to another LLC or maybe a particular person. Or you could just open a Coinbase account and buy crypto that way. There are lots of ways to, swap on DEXs, but there are very limited ways to swap decentralized for Bitcoin. Yeah. So anyway, let's go over this little article here real quick for the top hardware wallets. They talk about what is good about hardware wallets. This is another YouTuber. Crypto hardware wallets are the best way to store your crypto, hands down, right? I had someone the other day in the comments that said, I don't trust Ledger. I'll take my chances on the exchange. And I was like, wow, talk about trust issues. You're so suspicious of a hardware wallet company that you would rather store your crypto on an exchange and risk losing it. Like when FTX collapsed, or when there was another one, Celtic. I can't remember the name of it. It went bankrupt, and people lost their crypto. Celsius. So Celsius went bankrupt, FTX went bankrupt, and people lost their crypto because they were not storing it in their own wallet. Now, there are a myriad of other issues you can have if you choose to store your crypto on exchanges. You could accidentally get locked out of your account by entering your password incorrectly more than once. And then your so-called exchange will block you from accessing your crypto because they suspect something weird is going on. And then you got to jump through all kinds of hoops to get access to your crypto, right? Your cryptocurrency exchange might be temporarily offline because it went overloaded or whatever. And now you want to sell and you can't because your crypto is... You can't access your cryptocurrency exchange of choice. If you keep your crypto in your own wallet and it's time to sell, then you've got like 5 or 6 different crypto exchanges that you have active. You find the one that's working and you move your crypto from your wallet to the exchange to do your business, right? Having crypto in your own wallet is the ultimate control of your crypto. No one can steal or seize your crypto. Perhaps you're behind in tax payments and you've got like a whole big juicy Bitcoin portfolio on Coinbase. Well, the government can tell Coinbase that they're seizing your crypto because you're of taxes, and Coinbase can't do anything about it. So do you really want to put yourself at risk because you think Ledger is like trying to steal your crypto? Anywho. And the article, here we go. They got Engrave, Ledger, Trezor, Elipal. So their top wallet is Trezor Model T. Interesting. Trezor Model T is their #1 choice for a crypto wallet. And it's a great wallet, open source, and has a nice little touch screen. The only drawback to the Trezor is that, well, there's a couple. One is it doesn't support all the same cryptos that the Ledger device supports. It has a limited amount of crypto support as compared to other wallets. If all you're worried about is Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's a great wallet. If you want to do Celio and Stellar and Polkadot and all these other crazy cryptos, then this thing is not going to help you much. Also, it doesn't have Bluetooth, so there's no way to, it doesn't work with much mobile wallets, right? So lack of crypto support, no Bluetooth, and also there is a limited amount of third-party wallet support. That wallet that I was showing you over here, the Solflare wallet, does not support Trezor devices, right? It supports Ledger and the hardware one. I can't think of the name of it. Right, it's too early for me. Come on, Rex, you get it. Well, I think it's in here. No, it's not in here, is it? No, this is Elipal. The one that I have here is the, oh God, they're going to kill me. You can't remember the name of the crypto wallet? Let me see here. One key, Keystone. Keystone Pro, right? So this wallet supports Keystone too. Anywho, let's move down a little bit. So Trezor is the #1 recommendation. Also very easy to use, right? They've got some other recommendations that are more difficult. Best overall, Trezor Model T, hands down. That's their thing. Best hardware wallet with Bluetooth functionality, Ledger Nano X, right? So they talk about the Ledger Nano X, #2 on their list of recommendations, but they're also concerned about Ledger's recover service. I'm not going to go into that issue, but they have a way of backing up your keys to a cloud, and this is antithetical to crypto self-custody, so they don't trust Ledger anymore. This is a multifaceted issue. A lot of people really need a service like this because they can't manage their own device. It's sad but true. So I understand why Ledger is offering this service, but people in the crypto world, pretty arrogantly are criticizing Ledger for offering this service because it's antithetical, right? You don't have to use it, but it's a great wallet, right? So it's his number 2 rec. Then he talks about Ngrave 0. I guess I'm not going to have a chance to really go through the Ngrave demo today because I'm coming up on my hour already. But it is a great air-gapped wallet. I'll just show it to you over here. I had the camera all set up. Let's see here. If these cameras are still working. Yeah, so I have this one set up. Whoops. I got to put in my PIN again. Okay. Give me a sec here. I'll get it. Okay. So the Ngrave is an air-gapped wallet. This cable is just a charging cable. It's not connected to my computer. It's connected to a charging brick, which is connected to my electrical outlet. So, and when it's charged, it doesn't need the cable. It looks like it's pretty charged here. So this is a completely air-gapped solution for storing crypto, and then it has an accompanying app called the Ngrave Liquid app. I think I need my Face ID there. I'm not storing anything in it at the moment, but it's a great solution. What's really cool about it is that this device is really a high quality LED screen. Big, easy to use, responsive. That's why this device costs so much. It's like $400. But this is on the level of a smartphone, this screen interface. You can't beat this interface. But because it's an air-gapped wallet, it's a little difficult to use for the average user, right? Most people have trouble wrapping their head around how crypto works at all. And then they have to wrap their head around how to use an air-gapped device. So, but a great, safe, and secure way of storing your crypto completely offline. Now, I'm going to get down to this little thing here where he talks about BC Vault. He's giving it a high recommendation, and it's got highlights here. Let me see if I can find where. Yeah, okay. Supports millions of coins and tokens. Okay. Millions? I don't know about millions. Most wallets support Ethereum chain, which has thousands and thousands of tokens. So when you're talking about support for crypto, I don't know that millions gives you that much of an advantage over a ledger. I don't know that I, worried about the coin that the millionth, that one coin that's millionth in market cap. I'm not that interested in that one. I'm more interested in tokens that are like in the top 100 by market cap. So anyway, seedless cold storage, okay, which is kind of a weird thing they've got, which I'm not that crazy. I'm not a big advocate of these roll your own security solutions where one company comes out with their little scheme of how they're going to back the wallet up. It just doesn't stand the test of time. Don't reinvent the wheel. As you know, we hear that in software development, just like there are libraries out there that you can use to get from point A to point B. There's no reason to like roll your own. So the idea of a private key and a seed phrase, the 24-word seed phrase, is pretty much the easiest and most efficient method of showing me my seed phrase. I write it down, I put it in a safe place. all this stuff about, oh, you're not going to have a seed phrase. You're going to have, you're going to have your fingerprint over here and your eyeball scan over here. And then Aunt Granny's going to have like this other thing that, and no one can access the crypto unless all these things come together. I mean, all that crap to me is just hot air. But anyway, ferroelectric RAM, a chip that can function for over 200 years, making it the only hardware wallet suitable for multi-generational use. A backed up seed phrase can be multi-generational. Okay, here it is. True random number generating and non-deterministic algorithms create private keys. Devices such as Trezor, Ledger, and Elipal and most wallets come preloaded with private keys. False. They do not come preloaded with private keys. I cannot believe that the author of this article thinks that Ledger and Trezor devices come preloaded with private keys. That is patently false. A hardware wallet that comes preloaded with a key is... and a lot of people believe this. Oh, don't buy Ledger. They already have the private key on there, and then they've got it stored somewhere. So someday they're going to take your crypto. This is a common paranoid delusion, right? The devices generate random private keys when you initialize them. Period. They do not come preloaded with private keys. And if you want to reset the device, you enter your PIN incorrectly 3 times, reset to factory, and start again. You'll get a different seed phrase. So no, they do not come preloaded with seed phrases. And the fact that this author thinks they do makes me think he doesn't really know that much about hardware wallets. Now, I don't want to bang on anybody, but I'm going to, because I was given one of these devices. And if you'll notice, it's like this tiny little credit card thing with this little joystick on it. And the joystick is for entering your PIN. Well, there's no screen on here, right? And so when I tried to set it up, I was told, okay, create a PIN. So I created a PIN. And then when I went to initialize the device, it said, enter your PIN. Well, I couldn't enter my PIN because you can't see what you're entering. You're just guessing. And they have this like high-tech device that supports millions of cryptos, but this ganky little, I don't know how much they spent on this little piece of plastic, but it's a ganky little way to try to enter a PIN, especially if you can't see the numbers you're putting in. And I tried 3 or 4 times to enter my PIN to get the wallet initialized, and it wouldn't work. And I contacted the guy who sent it to me, and I said, I can't get your device to work. I can't even enter the PIN. He's like, oh, you're not doing it right. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I've reviewed like lots of different hardware wallets, and this thing is, if I can't see the numbers I'm entering, then I'm just kind of guessing. And when I'm clicking on your little thing over there, I don't know what the heck is going on. So anyway, and it seems like maybe this article is a shill for this wallet because it recommends it above all the others. It's kind of a weird thing, but hey, maybe it's a great wallet, but the interface leaves a lot to be desired, right? A wallet has to be easy to use. And then we get to Elipal Titan. I've done some videos on Elipal Titan. It's an air-gapped solution, a lot cheaper than the Engrave that we were talking about. But because the Engrave has such a high-quality screen, it's better interface, right? The Elipal interface is okay for the money that you pay for it. But this device is not on par with a smartphone, right? There are always some touchscreen issues with this device. Great device, and if it doesn't work the first time, tap it again. It'll work the second time. It's not a huge problem, but it's got a touchscreen that's not as high quality as some other hardware wallets, but you get what you pay for, right? If you want a flawless touchscreen, then spend $400 on an engrave. But if you're just doing your day-to-day stuff, this is a great, secure, cold storage wallet that generates random private keys. They all do, right? If Coinbase goes down, crypto in US is done anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. But Coinbase used to go down a lot whenever there were Bitcoin run-ups back in 2017 and 18, even 19, 20, and 21. You would have like Bitcoin would be on a tear and Coinbase would be down because they were getting inundated with, users trying to get in there and buy and sell and transfer crypto. So Coinbase used to go down quite often, temporarily. It's getting better. I think they've got it's more robust now than it was before. But yeah, that was a very common issue back in the day, was Coinbase going down during like high activity periods, temporarily, right? They'd usually get themselves back up and running within 24 hours. Shiraz, which would be the safest air gap wallet? Don't tell me Elipal, because closed source, and Keystone Pro because it supports third party. This whole, I gotta have open source trope is a little disingenuous. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I gotta have open source. If it's not open source, I don't trust it. And there are people that don't know how to code, so they can't check the code themselves. So they're basically trusting other people to check the code for them. So you're still putting your trust in, an open source developer out there. So you're still putting your trust in something. So your question tells me that I can't tell you it's Elipal and I can't tell you it's Keystone. Okay. You're kind of limiting me. Why don't you just tell me what the safest hardware wallet is, since you've excluded the top two? The top three are the Keystone, the Elipal, and the Ngrave. I don't know that many other air gap wallets out there that stack up against these wallets, right? No hardware wallet is completely open source because they use secure element chips. Those little chips you see on your ATM card, those are like built in, and those are secret by design. So the software and the firmware can do a really good job of being open source, but there's always something secret taking place on a hardware wallet that you have to put your trust into. It took me a minute. It was great until I can't see the screen. Yeah. Wasn't doing it right. Yeah, that's what I was told. Yeah. Pin is put on app on computer, then device. You have to use arrows in conjunction with the pin. Yeah, whatever. It wasn't connected to anything when I was setting it up. Yeah. Can you do future video on best non-KYC swap sites from... No, I'm not going to do. Tell people how to avoid taxes and that kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. I'm going to wind it down. I try to keep this Wednesday morning to an hour. I appreciate everyone that was here, everyone that asked me questions. Don't forget, I do a live stream every Saturday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The live stream from Michigan, where we cover more of the market news, and I move crypto around and take questions. I try to focus this video on hardware wallet issues. I hope that I was able to help those that had questions, and those that were here for the first time that were curious about hardware wallets, that I dispelled some of the common misconceptions about hardware wallets. Thank you again for being here. Thank you everyone that added and subscribed and donated. And thanks again, Kenny, for being here. All right. Have a good day, everyone.